I'm going to have to make this video very quick so I don't run out of time. I'd like to explain just one thing before I start this video. Yesterday, the Warhawk video I put up, Dazzle was not working for me very well at all, and because of that, I had to resave the file. And because of that, I re-uploaded it as a widescreen video, so if you want to check that out, links in the side. Just link over there. Alright, so I'm going to get started really quickly. This video is going to be my top 10 favorite games of all time. So, a couple might surprise you, but here we go. Okay, game number 10 would be Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. In my opinion, it's one of the most creative games of the series. It's the first one to incorporate multiplayer mode. Some of the guns were so great, such as the Rift Inducer, the Tempest. Some of them were, it was just so fun. I can't explain it any other way. So, if any of your friends have it, borrow it. It's a great game. Insomniac's a great company, so good job. Okay, next game. Prince of Persia, the 2008 version. This is game number 9. This was so fun when I played it, and once I was done, I was thinking that this is like my third or second favorite game of all time. Then when I went to play it again, I realized this game has no replay value. Playing it again is just pointless, and because of that, Prince of Persia just kind of was like, oh, okay. It's a very acrobatic game. It runs on the same engine as Assassin's Creed, so you can understand how it would be repetitive. But still, play it once, very fun. I recommend renting it before you try buying it, because you may think it's kind of pointless. Me, I still like the fact that I own it versus rented it, but it was very good. Okay, game number 8. Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. This game uses a very interesting game engine with cel-shaded artwork. You probably can't tell just by the pictures, but they're very cartoony. So it's and very blocky kind of. So many people don't like that look of the game because of that. They're drawn away from it. But still, if you play the game, you would like it. It's so unbelievably fun. You're traveling all the islands, and it's actually challenging to finish the game. And plus, there are points in the game where they just say, okay, good luck, go find the islands. So you're just like, what? Where do I go? Kind of thing, so I like that aspect. Okay, game number 7. Why is it open? Dynasty Warriors 5. Now, if you don't like hack and slash games, you will hate this game. It's a very hack and slash. So, yeah, be wary of that. You can kill enemies in like 1 or 2 hits, so you can see it right there. But still not as hack and slash as Dynasty Warriors 6, which I also own. But I felt like it was still the classic Dynasty Warriors kind of thing, where you could equip your weapons and the items and things like that. You had to find secret items throughout the levels. Dynasty Warriors 6 changed everything because that's not really as good in my opinion. But still, it's very fun. 48 playable characters, 38 levels, and a lot of them you can play on sides you wouldn't expect. So that's pretty cool. Game number 6, Final Fantasy X International. I burned it. I don't own the original copy. So, Final Fantasy X International. I love Final Fantasy X, but when I heard there was an International, I was like, I gotta get that. So, International, it's basically Final Fantasy X, but with an optional extra sphere grid, or and extra boss fights. So, really, it's insanely fun. It uses a conditional time-based battle system, basically where you take turns and you have infinite time to make a move, but the point is, speed is still taken into effect, whereas if you have a higher speed than your opponent, you'll attack first, or you get in multiple attacks before they get to attack. It's a little complicated, but you'll understand once you play it. Game number 5 is probably not a well-known game, but so fun. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube. If you have heard of it, most people usually think that it just kind of ruined the Final Fantasy series. It has nothing to do with any other Final Fantasy game. Well, it's very different from the other games, but it's still unbelievably fun. It's 4-player multiplayer, and it's co-op, basically. It takes 4 Game Boys to use it, but still, it's fun. They use Game Boys to minimize the buttons, because if you had to use 4 GameCube controllers, it would be too difficult. You would have like too many buttons. They eliminated the pause, like the kind of the pause of the. It's difficult to explain, but if you ever played this game, if you play it single player, it's lonely. Playing it multiplayer is the only good way to do it. 4 players. Alright, that was game 5. Game 4 is probably surprising for most people. Crash Team Racing for PlayStation 1. This is, in my opinion, the best racing game of all time. Most people would think, Crash Team Racing, PlayStation 1? Wow, that game seems like it would suck. And that's obviously the talk of someone who has not played Crash Team Racing. It's just so fun, and it's funny to listen to the people play. As people fly by. If you're playing any of the Crash games, you'll know like the characters like tiny, can't speak in complete sentences. It's only fun 4-player. If you don't have 4 players, well, it's like Crystal Chronicles, very lonely. You don't want to do it. Game number 3. Yeah, that's number 3. Warhawk. If you haven't heard of this game, I'll kill you. Okay, I won't kill you, but I'll just maim you. There's no other multiplayer shooter like this. It's a battle, not a skirmish. It's over a large map, not just a small little assemblage or village. I can't explain it any other way. This is over like a big desert or a bunch of little towns spread over a bunch of hills, or it could be a giant military base on an island, or it could be a long chain of islands all connected in a straight line. That's actually the smallest map, and yet it's still larger than like any other Call of Duty map, and probably as large as some Halo maps. So it's like the largest Halo maps. So these maps are enormous because they're meant for 32 players over a battle, not a skirmish. So it's different from other shooter games. But in my opinion, it's better. Game number 2. We're far away. Okay. Game number 2. Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. It uses the same game engine as the Wind Waker, which is a little surprising in my opinion, because the artwork is fantastic. They did a great job designing it, so I really like that. You probably can't tell through the camera, but people look a lot better. You get to turn into a wolf, and once you get partway through the game, you get to control when. Before you couldn't. It would just happen when you enter certain areas. You get different abilities as a wolf, things like that. It's just fun. Can't explain it any other way. I wonder if you guys can guess what my top favorite game of all time is. If you can't, you're stupid. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. The storyline is so fantastic. The creativity of the game is so unbelievable. Now, it's not a shooter game, so a lot of people don't like it. Everyone nowadays is looking for their shooter games. This is a magic and fighting-based game, melee-based. It's made by Square Enix, the same people do Final Fantasy. It's got Final Fantasy characters in it, but it's its own series. So, it's just so unbelievably fun. Now that can be challenging if you do a level 1 challenge like I do. So, that is it. Top 10 games of all time. Now, I'm going to go eat food.